Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
Oh, JBs. We do a little T-Rex arms? A little T-Rex arm dance? I like that. Yeah, a little cat or T-Rex arms. I like both of it.
Thank you.
I like both of it.
Thank you.
As long as it doesn't involve your Achilles. Sorry. I'm sorry, okay?
You're sorry that segue wasn't better?
It was all I can muster today.
You know what?
It was all I
Yeah.
can muster today.
I think the only reason why I'm criticizing you is because you're so good at it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You know, and because I care about you is the only reason that I'm talking to you this way.
I think you raised me up to tear me down.
Yeah,
You raised me up to tear me down.
Exactly. But anyways,
We've got it. Look, it feels like a funeral today. It's a weird day. A lot of people watching last night's game.
I know. You know, I'm very against starting the show with a sports
because it's not. Look, this isn't a sports show. We have a sports show to do that. However, we covered the game yesterday. This was one of those pop culture moments that everybody was watching.
This is historic.
Men, women, everything. It was 9/11.
in New York. Aaron Rodgers.
Aubrey
Marcus.
Logan Paul.
Right, Delco? Wasn't he there on the sideline?
Jake Paul, yeah.
Are you sure this was in New York?
It was positive. So pop that up on screen. I sent you that pic.
I don't know. On 9/11, jets usually crash into fields.
Oh, boy.
In Pennsylvania.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? When a jet crashes in a field on 9/11,
it's also technically New Jersey.
Yeah,
it's not even New York.
It's not even New York.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people commuted from there. You know what I mean?
Sure did. Bobby. Pop up that pic of Aubrey Marcus pregame, because that's how it started. For me, I texted you that last night, and
he's got some kind of crystal.
It was
I'm sure.
him, Jake Paul. Are we calling her a wife to Aubrey Marcus?
I think he calls her wife, right?
I don't want to be rude here. We're on YouTube. Is bottom bitch, I think is the term.
For
what
who?
Does he call? He calls her his wife, right?
It's a wife.
I think spirit person.
Spirit.
Oh, soul sister. Soul sister.
Wow. Are we going train?
Soul sister.
I know. I was going more that. Yeah.
No. Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, I was going more Moulin Rouge.
I was going.
Delco is shaking his head.
Train.
Right now, like
how are you
so
not going
mad.
train for Soul Sister?
I am so close to cutting Giorgio's mic already.
Right.
Me and James are on a spiritual level.
Yeah,
No,
the
you
best
sure aren't,
soy
dude.
latte that I ever had.
In me.
And
this
you.
is nuts that we're even going Moulin Rouge today. No, we don't do that here.
Sorry, we're
We're
like
a train
This
show.
is our nostalgia, Ross.
We're a train show here.
True.
Okay.
We're just making it impossible for you to talk about the game.
God bless
Soul
it.
sister, soul sister.
I don't even. We're not even on the same
Okay, go.
planet here.
Talk about the football game. We
No,
love
not
it.
at all. First of all, let's show Aubrey Marcus. So he's with his soul sister, as you guys liked her. Zoom in. Is that a crop top? Like, what was she wearing here tonight?
It's just a sports bra, you know?
That's what it looks like, right?
She's wearing that six-pack abs.
I know,
is what
like-
she's wearing.
I know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what she's wearing.
Me neither,
Yeah.
but it's still odd to see on a sideline of an NFL game when it's not a player. Kind of distracting. Even the cheerleaders are wearing a little bit more than that, which is hilarious.
Well, she needs to put them in their place and let those girls know who the alpha woman in that
It's
stadium
definitely
is.
her. It's definitely her over the cheerleaders,
Well,
for sure.
Delco, I think last time, I think he was a green Packer. She wrote some kind of post. Do you know if she did for this situation?
I'm going to imagine she did not after what transpired last night.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because, like, remember, it was like this odd thing where it felt like they were dating
I mean,
they
weren't
with the
not-
post. Sure.
They did not post. So I checked out everybody's last nights. And then the girl, Bob, pop up that pic one more time here. God, we've got to get Bob out of his Instagram. I mean,
Sorry,
What?
whenever you
lost.
bring up a woman on Instagram,
Oh,
it's
he
Instagram
just
and
goes.
Gone, dude.
He's gone for the entire
he's
day.
gone for the day. I mean, every show, he's just gone for the entire
We're like,
day.
Bob. He's like, what?
I mean,
And you just see the
because
Instagram
we
in the
see,
corner, like
the audience
scrolling
doesn't
up.
see
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
monitor. It's just Bob scrolling down hot girls' Instagrams all day, and you're just like, holy shit.
Oh, wow.
I
That's the Zeta
mean-
House of Alabama he's been looking at.
So
I know
look
you
at
can see it.
So look at the girl on the far left. Who is that now? Because I don't know who that is. Is that just an extra?
Alana Beal is her
Alana
name.
Beal.
Who is? I don't know. Do you know who that is?
Alana Beal. I mean,
Alana Beal.
everybody knows. She's got 41,000
I think it's a
followers.
friend of Aubrey.
You create.
Yeah, I think it's a friend of Aubrey. What you believe, you create. Choose your truth.
All right, scroll.
How did
God,
you
dude.
connect that with
Okay.
Aubrey?
Now you can scroll.
Just
There you
kidding.
go. Now you can scroll.
Just kidding.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the
Nice.
girl that they're fucking at the same time, right?
Right. And
Okay.
if we see Pakui anywhere,
I
then
don't see Perangui.
Perangui.
Perangui,
Giorgio,
guys.
it's really not that hard for you. You're already dipping a toe in at 10th Planet.
I know.
You need to figure out how to.
There's
need
just
to be
one more
in this
step.
cult.
There's
I don't-
one more step for you.
What child do I have to sacrifice? What moon do I need to come out in?
You don't. You just have to pick on it over 10th Planet.
You
That's
Yeah.
what you gotta
And
do.
then
Easy
a couple
peas.
months of bottoming, and you're fine.
yeah,
Well,
easy peasy.
it's 6-8 months of being the bottom in that, and
That's
you've
how
got to
you're
let
ju-
our
that's
Aubrey
how you're
fuck you
jumped
and,
in
yeah,
to the
and then
game.
you're good.
That's how you jumped into the.
But this
Mish.
this pick was how the night started, and I was in. I was like, oh, okay, great. This will be hilarious. This will be fun for the show.
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers runs out with the American flag on 9/11. So no one else on the team, not the coach,
Right.
not any. They chose him
Right.
to race out onto the field.
chills.
Oh, everybody. Everyone. Remember the
Dad.
firefighter sang the
Oh, I
national
know.
anthem? I mean, it was just.
We've got a Muslim coach
Yeah.
for the Jets. Do you know what I mean? It's just full circle, coming together. Everything's going to work out. Aaron Rodgers is 38, defying age
39, I think.
for 3 downs.
Sure.
And he showed
plays.
us all that even at 39, you can play 3 whole downs plays.
Oh, boy.
Which is the bigger 9/11 tragedy?
Giorgio, I honestly, it's time to kill that mic today, guys.
I am, but he picked up another mic.
He's
Delco,
in
it's time
charge
to
of the
kill
mics,
both
so
of
he can
those
always get
today.
another one,
Yeah.
and he's like swapping them out.
rotating mics with Rob.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
already cut his
Jesus
mic.
Christ. Cut both at this point. We
He
can't
just
do
grabs
this anymore.
everybody's mic until everything's cut.
My
I'm
God.
over on the DVs.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hey
Nope.
guys,
Yep.
over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
so-
just like a fun thing to see the defying age,
Right.
And all of the.
And then he
you know.
goes down, and then he
Mm-hmm.
sits back down. And I said to you, I go, that's exactly what happened to Kobe, where Kobe just eventually sat back down. I was like, this has got to be an Achilles or something like that.
This is my favorite part of last night.
Go ahead. Yep. That was his face as this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can see an entire man's career on his face during this moment right here when Rodgers went down.
He's like, we could have won a Super Bowl
Yep.
this year.
Could have won a Super Bowl. They have the defense. They have the offense. They have all the players. They have fucking 2 great running backs.
Right. Did
Maybe-
they win
Maybe the
though
greatest
last
wide
night?
receiver in the NFL.
Did they win?
They did, but it was weird because everybody was kind of checked out. I started sending full disclosure. I started sending emails and invoices and stuff last night. I had it on in the background, and just kind of casually, I was looking up because it was a not great game after that. It felt like a funeral, and we were saying goodbye to Aaron Rodgers, and that was it. And then you're like, wait a minute, all right, it's 13-3, and now it's 13-6. And then they just keep making mistakes.
Just nickel and
blah,
diming
blah,
up.
blah.
To a win.
And then the guy fumbles the ball for one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league currently, Josh Allen. Maybe not anymore after this game. Fumbles the ball in the 20 Jets get the ball, and you're like, oh, my God, they're going to win. They're up by 3, but there's still 2 minutes left. And then they drive down the field. Guy kicks a field goal, hits the upright, square on. I've never seen a field goal hit an upright that dead on and then magically hook around and make it to tie the game to go to overtime like that. Mm-hmm. Now people are in, everybody's freaking out, holy shit. And then the guy from Hard Knocks, which is the Jets this year, last person to make the team, undrafted out of Austin P College. Mom's getting an oil change when he calls and said, I made the team. This is the greatest day of my life.
Okay, what happened?
Returns a punt return for a touchdown. The Jets win the game. Everybody's crying. It's magic. It's pandemonium. They put a chain on the guy.
Right.
People are all in. And then you wake up this morning and the MRI confirms it is an Achilles. He's done for the year. Potentially his career, because let's face it, you probably don't come back from an Achilles at that age.
At 39, no.
No.
He could maybe come back and play do a couple more
He
plays.
can walk.
He might can next year do a couple more.
He'll be able to walk in a year, and that's about it.
It was sad. I like him.
So do I. It was sad.
He's a fucking weirdo, but he's a weirdo. Mm-hmm. If not for the Aubrey Marcus connection, I would be like, this guy's kind of fucking rad. Do you know what I mean? Just as far as like juxtaposing against other football players.
He's a bit of a chameleon. Like, he can turn it on and really get you to like him, but I mean, just ask his parents, I'm sure.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to his family at all, or his brother, which is super odd.
When would I not like him? Like, what has he
he's
done?
A weirdo.
Sure, he's a weirdo,
down.
but
this is what he does with his free time. There's no woman with him. He's just buying healing crystals in Wyoming.
Well, technically, Danica got him into this.
He stayed into it.
Yeah, he stayed into it. Danica Patrick got him into that.
I own this exact outfit.
Even the Danica Patrick relationship was super weird to me. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't feel like a real person either.
Well, that's when I thought maybe he was gay, right?
Well, it's
I've always bought into asexual.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or bi, potentially. Who
Maybe.
knows?
By the way,
Probably more bi.
I wish.
By the way.
Do you even, you know what got kind of buried last night as he ran out with the American flag?
What's that?
Is his take on 9/11?
I'm sorry? What was his take on 9/11?
So a couple of years, remember Deshaun Kaiser, quarterback
Yeah.
in the NFL?
Yeah.
So he was his backup for a little bit.
Yep.
And he was on the Brenneman show in 2022. And I read this morning, actually. Rodgers, Kaiser told the show that Rodgers would encourage free thinking, and his first meeting involved with the other in the quarterback room or with the offense or whatever in 2018 involved a conversation surrounding the 9/11 tragedy. Now, this is the quote. Kaiser says, the first thing that comes out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth was, "Do you believe in 9/11?"
Yes. Yeah.
Do you believe
Yes.
Like, that it happened?
And Kaiser goes, "What? Do I believe in 9/11? Yeah, why wouldn't I?" And then Aaron Rodgers
Have
goes,
you seen Loose Change?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers' response to that was, "You should read up on that."
Now, look, if he was being funny,
Nobody
hilarious.
knows. Yes, nobody knows.
Hilarious.
Yes. That's
If
something
he's
we would say
being
on Drinking
serious,
Bros.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's full Eddie Bravo.
It's really fucking
Is
funny.
he really?
He's got to be.
I don't know
He's
at this
like-
point.
he's
We'll
gotta be.
we'll find out, because now that his career is done, he's going to end up doing podcasts with everybody and their mother, and you're going to start to get into the real Aaron Rodgers now that he doesn't have to worry about his career anymore.
I hope he starts a band.
I'm going to start a band, but he's definitely going to have a podcast. I can promise you that. The other part of this is the stories that are coming out this morning of all the wild shit that was going on around the nation and these parties and bar specials and all this other stuff. Bob, play this clip from Wisconsin, because it was a Wisconsin bar that said if the Jets lose, they were going to buy everybody free drinks at the bar.
Everything.
Everything,
so, like,
yeah.
Your
All of it.
whole tab
Your whole tab.
And
was going to be on the bar.
Not including food.
Not including food?
Just drinks.
Just drinks. Okay, great. Go ahead and play this
Just bought the
clip.
food at that point.
We're just going to keep going.
Another condition is Aaron Rodgers must start the game, but the rules say nothing about him having to finish it.
Good thing.
So there's a loud roar when Rodgers leaves the game hurt in the first quarter. The fans say it's nothing personal.
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to Rodgers, but tonight I'm thinking with my wallet instead.
Still, some say they'll be flying high regardless of the outcome because after Sunday's game, they're in love.
I think we can work around that, especially after Jordan Love's performance yesterday. I'm not too down in the dumps after that, so.
Enjoy.
And the mood has changed considerably. That is because the Jets just won the game on a long touchdown in overtime.
Look
You
at
can
these
take
people.
a look. This is the reaction from the bar where
Would you walk out? I feel like I
the
would
bar
tip
tabs,
and
they've been
walk
racking
out.
up all night, thinking certainly with
This guy's
Rodgers
about to
hurt,
puke.
Oh my God, that guy's about
the
to
bar
puke
was
in
gonna
his
be paying
fucking
that tab.
hand.
It is setting in. They are going to have to go to the bar and pay that tab. That's where we're at. This offer is going to be in effect for another 12 games this season. As long as the Jets and Packers are not playing at the same time, this Jets lose, you win promotion is in effect. Tonight, Bill and Natalie, the house won.
Oh my God, dude. Holy shit.
What,
Holy
you have to
shit.
pay for what you ate and drank? Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's a lot, though. In Wisconsin, like I've partied there. Those motherfuckers drink. God knows what that bar tab was
It's a
like.
sure thing.
Yes,
13-3.
100%.
it's never a sure thing, you fucking losers. If you haven't learned that by now.
But a guy, even during, because we were watching, you and I were watching the Manning cast last
What
night.
do you say? Watch it.
You and I were watching the Manning cast last night.
I'm not going to watch football any other way.
You shouldn't. And it was a blast. I hate Joe Buck naked and Troy Aikman. So yeah, switch on over to the other broadcast, which is essentially a podcast just watching the game. And it was awesome. But even they were like, this guy, who was it, Zach Wilson, didn't practice the entire week with the first team. No snaps, no nothing. He was simply running a scout team. He had no time with these players whatsoever. He thought it was over. I thought it was over. We all kind of did. I just had it on in the background because I had money on it. If I did not have money on it, I probably would have turned that game off last night. And then all of this crazy shit happened. So, yeah. But what a weird thing today. And now that it's confirmed that he's out, it's very odd. It sucks.
It's sad,
it does feel like a Bravo show. The entire night felt like a Bravo show last night.
Yes. I mean, deep down, many people were hoping for that exact thing to happen, right? And you guys know all the drama and the other quarterback that slept with his friend's mom, and you guys are all the same. It's a reality show. And if you tell me any different,
I don't think not one person last night was hoping Aaron Rodgers would go down on the fourth play of the game.
I'm sure if you were a Bills fan,
But that's so.
I don't
go
even
down.
Think, I don't
Nobody
even think
wants,
they did.
No, nobody
they wanted,
wants
They
him.
wanted to win, but like no
right,
one wanted
right.
Rodgers.
No, nobody wanted that. Obviously, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, it was drama. It's like you don't want NASCAR to crash.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Do you know what I mean, though?
We
Like, you
want the
don't
cars
want
to
anyone
crash.
to get hurt, but like,
When we want the cars
kind
to
of
crash.
want to see
R.I.P.
a
Dylan
crazy crash.
But yeah, it was.
And that's the sickness.
It was sad and it was strange because the build up to all of it last night felt surreal. And even you were watching, and you don't like any of that stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, because you had just popped out for like 1 second, and I was like, you're not gonna believe this. He's done. He's out for the game. Oh, it's strange.
And it's just over like that. Like there's like nothing you can do. Like nothing you can say.
No.
Like it's just gone.
It is. It's all gone.
Yeah.
And so might the writer's strike. That might be all gone too now.
Yeah, we have hit our quota of football.
We've
Can you guys
hit it today.
Can you guys put the camera on you guys? Always a good day when J&L's in the house.
J&L
behind
Barbecue's in the house
producers.
today.
We got
Brought us some barbecue, best barbecue
got
in
some
Austin,
friends.
Texas. Sure did, dude.
we
Thanks,
got some
kids.
friends visiting us. A lady.
A lady? Do we have a lady?
We have a lady.
But is she with them or is she solo?
No.
Oh, no way.
Solo lady.
We
I'm
never
always
get that.
like, hell yeah.
We never get that. Welcome.
Drinking
welcome to the
hard
show.
AF.
Welcome to the show. But yeah,
You're hired.
the Writers Guild's strike might be over too. People are trying to force that out now.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Barrymore was actually the first one to break and say, no, you know what? I'm going to do my show.
Oh, and no, I think Jimmy Fallon was on last night too.
Well, they're showing reruns of Fallon. So
that one a
yeah.
rerun?
They're all reruns in late night. However, daytime. So once she jumped, Drew Barrymore jumped,
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is like, cool, man, we going back? We're going back. And they did. So Jennifer Hudson came back. And then another one, that Cheryl Shepard, whatever the fuck her name is, who's got that afternoon show.
Sure.
Took over for Ellen, I guess.
Right.
So they all came back. And now online, by the way, everybody was like, well, fuck Drew Barrymore. You're a scab. You're fucking awful. Blah, 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 blah. She got torched. And they're like, we're going to show up and we're going to picket your show today. You're going to fucking feel the thunder.
Okay.
There was 12 people yesterday for this. That's why nobody can take these strikes very seriously. It's 12 to 15 people who are showing up for a photo op.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of go home because they don't really work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's hard to get behind right now. But for Drew Barrymore, what they were saying was, I guess only a few members of her staff were WGA writers and the rest weren't.
What the hell do they write on that show?
I know. It's really just, it's interview. They don't do any like skits or anything.
Yeah, it might be a problem if the Producers Guild went on strike maybe, but like what the fuck?
Well, I guess they're writing the questions for all the guests and celebrities. And what she said is, because you're not allowed to talk about upcoming projects and everything, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff. But there's also like, fun little monologues and like, little news stories and everything else that need to be written for her. Let's face it, she's not great at improv. She needs writers. And she needs all of the writers there.
Yes.
So I guess what they're going to do is just ditch the WGA ones, go with a bunch of non-union writers that they were kind of working with, and so is everybody else.
Could they be as good, Ross? No way.
Yeah.
No. Could they do the job? Could they write the joke for Drew Barrymore?
Giorgio, there's a lot of talking out of you today. We've got to fucking end it, bro.
A lot of voices.
Jesus Christ. Shecky, what happened
He's
today?
a man of 1,000 voices. He could do so many impressions.
We're not here for you to workshop your bits.
I know. It's like fucking Nickelodeon here today.
Maybe he's getting back
gonna
into
get
stand-up.
slimed. He's going to get slimed during the middle of the show.
No, we are.
But if they broke, and then secretly behind the scenes after that came out, all of the top showrunners, I guess, behind the scenes, tried to meet secretly with the studios to end the strikes and say, hey, let's
and
be
do
done
private
with this.
deals, yeah.
And the studio said, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
And so that came out this morning. I don't know if there's a way out of this now. I let it all burn at this point and then just let these people come back one by one. Very, very surprised at Drew Barrymore. She's Screen Actors Guild, which is on strike, and then Writers Guild as well. So that's kind of saying fuck you to both of those. If their intention is just to break both unions at the same time, this might do it. Now, the Sherry Shepard chick, what does it really matter at the end of the day? Or Jennifer Hudson?
Right.
I guess what does it matter at the end of the day? It's not what is she going to miss out on another singing part in a movie?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's just more about the studios not feeling the sting that they were supposed to feel, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not happening. So they're kind of like, all right.
I'm feeling the sting.
From what show that's not coming back?
No, from a show I saw that is, I guess, coming out.
What is that?
Snake Oil, hosted by David Spade. Like, I
Oh,
almost just
yeah.
killed myself
What
watching
is
that
this?
fucking
Is it
trailer.
real or snake oil?
It's a bunch of celebrities, essentially.
Doing a talk show or doing a game show.
Where they have to guess if a product is real or not.
Or if
Hosted by
it's like-
David Spade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all fucked.
I wanted to blow my brains out.
Bob, that's the
Right.
future.
So how can he?
I know.
How can he do that? But Drew Barrymore can't do her show. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Like,
there's got to be writers for that.
There has to be. 'Cause you have to find the
I think
stuff.
that was pre-taped. I think it was pre-taped, which is how
What,
you
they had it in the bank?
Correct, yeah. Correct.
I think people are cheating too and being like,
So do I.
this interview was done before.
I agree.
Oh, this thing was already finished.
I
and you're
agree.
like, how are we going to know?
Because we got a call from SAG about actors and all that stuff of like, hey, they can't talk about any other projects. I think it was was it Softcore History? We'd have put the title card up for this interview.
Well,
was
everybody's-
fucking,
Everyone with that Max Martini and Klain were on.
yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's doing that still on Entertainment Tonight and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't believe you.
We really did shoot that before.
No,
though,
I know.
But it just happened to be the day before, actually. In real life, I'd tell you guys now because it's already out in the world. But we didn't want to get those guys in trouble. But yeah, I'm with you. I think most of this shit.
It's like, oh, you had all of these interviews just in the fucking bank.
I
all
wonder,
these movies already done. All of these, I just don't.
I wonder
buy it.
what they paid to get rid of the rest of that girl's interviews from Snow White. I bet you there was a settlement of like, hey, whatever's in the vault with that chick, stop running it. We'll pay you whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Because that was good.
Because those were all back interviews that they were showing. And it's going to be real interesting to see what happens here over these next few months after this. Because once the first people broke and said, hey, we're all done with this, I can only imagine this is going to get worse, where everybody else is just going to bitch and be like, hey, we want our fucking jobs back. But I don't know if they're going to be there either. So we'll see. The other part, too, of this is the ratings we were talking about with like Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. Now that football's back, nobody really fucking cares. And nobody's really bitched that much. And I think that's starting to set in that, hey, maybe we're not that important anymore, and the ratings are going to this. They're going to these fucking game shows. And over the weekend, we had AJ Buckley on, and he was asking about it. And he goes, what's up with these game shows? He goes, I don't really get it. And I was like, well, they're super cheap. You can shoot 5 in one day. You don't need all the writers and all the things. And the budgets are very inexpensive. And that's what you're going to be seeing. I haven't seen the snake oil thing from David Spade yet.
I just saw like one. I don't think, is it out yet?
It's not out yet. I mean, and it's just looks.
There's just promos for it where you're just like, okay.
It looks terrible, and it's just like a bunch of people totally wasted on there. Like Natasha Leggero was the one I immediately noticed, but like
there was
wasted. Like I mean like wasted on like she's funny.
Wasted talent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yes.
It's just like god damn, dude. Like this is it.
I know.
This is what you got to do now. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or Airbnb your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your celebrity, they have to do.
I don't begrudge them getting a paycheck, but it's just like, this is all you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're never going to get to make another show like Another Period or
right.
something like that. Something funny and
goofy,
or unless you fund it yourself.
Yeah. But yeah. Or like a Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher.
Oh my God, dude. Can we?
Airbnb-ing their.
What?
Well, they put out a story right when everything was going.
Yeah.
About the two most relatable people ever.
Sure.
Inviting strangers into their home to Airbnb, and they also get to hang out with them.
Was that real?
So that was the, yeah.
That was a real story?
Yeah, and Gwyneth Paltrow's doing it. George Clooney's doing it. They're like Airbnb-ing their place.
Somebody sent me this, but I didn't even believe it. I didn't even click on the article. I was like, okay.
Well,
I thought it was like a Babylon Bee. Is that really going down?
Yes, and it was a little bit of a distraction, as we know.
Uh-huh.
They thought they could put this out, and everyone would just go, oh, yeah, you're fine. You're not like, everyone's not going down their rabbit hole right now, which this rabbit hole has been taken where all of it always gets taken, where there's some kind of collusion with the CIA, and they're like, trafficking kids and everything. I'm not going to go that far, but... Where I will go with it is, Bob, I've texted you a couple things, but where I will go with it is...
Well, let me ask you that. Is that one of their brands in this picture that we just showed?
Which one?
Do they own a tequila or something like that? With the Ashton Kutcher.
That's
what is it?
He's holding like a cake or something.
Oh, I can't really see it.
It's just like a cake. They're inviting these people. They're paying to Airbnb, and then they also get to hang out with Ashton and Mila. That's all it is.
For an entire day?
For some photos, yeah. And then photos and like a quick sit down, and then they leave them in their house. And I don't even know why you would want to do that.
I don't either. I thought this was a fake story.
But you guys know already that Danny Masterson sentenced to 30 years, already appealing, obviously. But his parents asked Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher to write character letters on his behalf, saying how, great he was. He's a role model. He was... an amazing friend to us. We never saw any of this happening, and please, leniency, whatever. Then they had to have a weird video after that, which was like... There
was a lot of backlash.
Hey, guys, you know that we support victims, always have.
Always will.
Always will. Yeah. But, his parents reached out, and so kind of backtracking, but not, because they did... write the letters.
I I hate it, by the way.
So then this is there's people doing some, like I said, some pretty deep TikTok dives. So one of the victims, the accusers, that I think was part of the lawsuit, was actually on that 70s show, just a couple bit parts, and dated Danny Masterson back in the day.
All right.
While they were all shooting. So she writes...
Is this her in the video?
No. This is the TikToker kind of explaining it. But basically, we can just play this video. And this is her writing to them, being like, go ahead.
Okay, play the clip.
I almost wish I hadn't come across what I have come across while going in this deep dive about Ashton Kutcher. Earlier in my last video, we talked about Chrissy Bexler's response to Mila Kunis. Well, now we're going to talk about what she had to say about Ashton Kutcher. The information that I've pieced together literally stopped me in my tracks, gave me goosebumps, and I had to come share it right now. I still have more of a wormhole to go down, but I'm going to show you guys what I just found and what freaked me out so much. So Chrissy Bexler was dating Danny Masterson during the filming of that 70s show. She appeared on the show a couple of times as a guest. It seems like she was on set a lot with all of the cast. She was one of the 3 victims in his lawsuit, and her response to Ashton Kutcher writing a letter to the judge saying that Danny was a great role model was, "Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor." Now, February 21st, 2001 is an important date because that is the day that Ashton Kutcher went to go pick up a date, and that date was murdered. Well, since this statement came out, it was being said that, Ashton Kutcher called Danny Masterson the night of the murder and said, "My fingerprints were all over the door. I don't know what to do," and Danny helped him come up with the plan to tell the police that he had been there to pick her up and that his fingerprints would be found on the door. Now that I've looked a little bit further into what happened during that case, the document said that when Kutcher heard about the crime the following day, he reached out to police and said he was worried because he'd put his hands on the doorknob while trying to open the door. The big thing here is that he reached out to police the next morning once police had released that there had been a murder, which means that his phone call with Danny Masterson, according to Chrissy Bixler, happened the night of the murder, before the cops knew that there was a murder. Okay,
so that's a little bit of a rabbit hole. We can stop that.
Kutcher
you can
So that's like
pause
part of it. And then people are going through all old interviews that like Ashton and Mila Kunis would do, and Danny Masterson, because Mila was 14 when she was on the show. Mm-hmm. Danny and Ashton were 20 and 21 or 22 or something like that. They had bets on like sticking their tongue down her throat and weird. So this was like a really weird interview that they did with Rosie O'Donnell back in the day, and I don't think they were dating at this point.
Okay. Play it.
She was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
say, that's
right?
probably your first kiss ever, right?
It was my first kiss. Why don't you tell them a bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like a second or third kiss.
It was the first. It was like the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No. Okay, so I've never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, you know, Ash was attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life.
Sure.
And he was very nice about it. He was like, "Oh, don't worry." So I was like, "Okay." Then Danny goes and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her." What would you stick your tongue in my mouth or some?
What? No.
For $10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet going.
Yeah.
Like,
which was.
Okay.
It wasn't very
So basically, you know, when you look back on it, you're kind of like, and all interviews that Danny Masterson did, he was just like, and it was normal and nobody thought anything of it, right? Mm-hmm. Now with this, you're kind of just like, okay, you guys could be creeps together.
Well, there's a third member of that cast.
What? Oh, yeah.
Who certainly liked chicks that were...
It's just a problematic...
Diplomaless.
Producers hired a 14-year-old to make out with all these people, right?
Talking about Wilmer. Yeah. Well, she lied about her age.
She said she was 16.
No, she did. She didn't tell him how old she was.
Yeah, we're
They're
certainly.
like, are you? I think they said like, are you 18? Are you 16? And she goes, I'm going to be.
We're certainly not talking about
on
Topher
my
Grace. He's a saint.
Yeah, he's a saint.
Oh yeah, Ross, I wanted to ask you about that.
Sure.
So I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but everyone was like, people called Topher Grace an asshole for years for not hanging out with that 70s show cast. But what really it turns out is that he was the only nice one. He didn't want to hang out with these creeps.
No,
he was Scientology too, wasn't he?
No, he was the only one that was not in Scientology.
Oh, well, that's why.
And so that's why. It was, let's see. So Danny was in it. Ashton was always in like Kabbalah, but kind of dabbled in it, where he was always wearing, the red string bracelet at the time. Mm-hmm. So you didn't really know.
He was in a different cult.
Laura Prepon from that show was
in it.
She was Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend at the time was actually Chris Masterson, which is Danny's brother. He was on Malcolm in the Middle. He was also in Scientology.
And they were born into it. They were lifers.
Right.
Yeah.
Wilmer Valderrama was also in Scientology. So,
really?
it's a whole string, right, of people at that point. And Topher was the only one who was not in the group or whatever, right? And I don't know what Ashton was, right? I like the bracelet and the thing with the Kabbalah. I don't know. God, it's a rough one for me because I've worked with literally all of them. And to me, in my opinion, we'll start with the Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher letter to the judge. That's their best friend. I like that letter to me, writing that letter for him. I don't think that they thought genuinely. And I've played softball with Danny for 2 years at that point. I never would have guessed in a million years. This story seems so far gone to me that I have the same response as Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. For real. I just don't believe it. And could it happen? Absolutely. Could it have happened? Yes. But the person that I knew, I mean, it's almost the exact same statement that they put out. The person that I knew for 2 years was not that guy, and I can't envision him doing that. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I just can't envision him doing it. He was such a nice person.
Right.
So
and he didn't drug and rape you.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
But no, not that. But I wasn't there. I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but if you're giving a character statement of somebody that you're hanging out with all the time.
Right.
That's the same character statement I would have written and given to the judge about Danny Masterson.
Because there are people that you would be like, oh, yeah, I could see him doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Character statement is just like, that's not the type of person I knew.
It isn't. And
because there are people that you would be like, yeah, that guy is fucking weird.
And that's what I said about Danny Masterson.
But you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Therefore, it's too tough to know or judge or who fucking knows? I mean, I've been shocked about people in the past where you look at them and you're just like, wait, what? OJ. Like O.J. Simpson, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, that was America's guy. Bill Cosby. That was America's guy, right? If we didn't know all that shit had happened and they went to trial for it, we never would have known. You know what I'm saying? Same with Danny. That's the same way I felt about him, where, fuck, man, never in a million years did I picture that. And I would have written the same letter had their parents had asked or whatever, right? But it's not like we were that close. But I did know him pretty fucking well for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And if I'm Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, I don't even apologize for it. I let it go in today's world, and I think that's the problem.
That's where I think
also how
went wrong, just because the apology is kind of insincere and weird too. But yeah,
you probably wouldn't blink if this was Danny Masterson's sibling, right? Certainly not their parents writing a character letter.
Yeah.
Right. How far removed do you have to be? Is it like if you're not blood related to him, you just got to ditch him? Doesn't matter if you've known him for 20 years.
No, I think interesting that you can't find anyone else that maybe isn't heavily involved in sex trafficking, lobbying Congress for their organization that's to shed a light on and stop sex trafficking, right? So maybe you don't, there's no one else? You have no one else that can write a letter for you?
Here's what I think. In this case,
those are your closest friends?
It's not only are they his closest friends, but they're also the two most famous people. And if you look back at Danny's career, he's really only known for two things. That 70s show, which ran for, 10 seasons? I mean, it was a very long time. And then the one after that just got canceled because of this trial was The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher. I mean, it's...
Have Sam Elliott write.
I don't know.
Have Sam Elliott write something. Have, have Wilmer.
This isn't the person I knew. Have a Coors. You can't have Wilmer, though. Because if you look at it, with what Bob said...
You can't have Wilmer.
But right,
Can't have
what Bob
either.
With what Bob said about the Demi Lovato thing and everything else, is that the best character witness for you? No, you can't. Like that's one that your lawyer checks off your list, where it's just like, hey, dude, I know your best friends are these 6 people.
Right.
It's down to 6 at that point, and one of them's your brother who is in Scientology.
Right.
And then the other one is Laura, probably. And Laura's not with the brother anymore. She's married with kids to Ben Foster. She probably wants nothing to do with this fucking situation either.
Man,
you're down to 2 people at that point.
Red flag that you don't have any other friends. Just saying.
But is it if you're working with the same person for 14 out of your 16 years? Who else do you go to, I guess? That's that famous that would move a judge or a jury.
Mm-hmm.
Who would it be?
But that's what I'm saying. Weird that he's been in the business for this long and has no other.
Well, look, it's weird that he's been in the business this long and has only worked with essentially the same people over and over
his
again.
IMDb is bleak.
It is. It's If you look at it, it's just that 70s show and The Ranch, and that is
hold on.
it.
Put some respect on Dracula 2000.
Oh, come on.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm not in any camp. I'm just letting you know what is going on in the Ashton and Mila world, and on
I wouldn't have said anything if I were them. Now we'll go back to this murder thing too. By the way, you and I covered that story years ago on this show. We remember what happened. He showed up for a date, and the girl was fucking dead, and
But he didn't call until the next
I don't think
day.
he knew. So if you remember correctly, and this is just a guess based on that show, right? I think, didn't he jiggle the door handle, knock on the door, and then leave? And then the next day, I think he called the police, and they were like, hey, holy shit. Danny was probably his best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. That phone call with that girl saying probably was true of holy shit. Dude, I showed up and...
No, but she's saying it happened the night before anyone knew about it. So he's saying that how would he know if she was murdered if he didn't go in, see her, and not call anyone?
I think it's just mixed up of the opposite day where it was just like, holy shit, the girl that was there is the girl that I was... The girl that got murdered was the girl that...
That's what him and Danny, according to this accuser, that's what Danny and him came up with on the phone call, which was... Hey, dude, just say that you went there, you tried to open the door, but you didn't. Mm-hmm. And then just call the police once they say that it was a murder, and then say that you were there to pick her up. She didn't answer. So according to this, that's why I'm saying it's a weird little deep dive where it's like she's saying this phone call happened the night before, which was the only people that would know that this girl is murdered is someone that saw her and the person that murdered her, both of which did not call anybody until the next day.
Right. Yeah.
So what probably happened is he did open it and saw that she was murdered, freaked out and left, called Danny.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah.
Or he tried to open the door. She didn't answer,
I probably would have done the same thing at that age in my life. I don't think you think he murdered her. I don't think he murdered the girl, right?
I don't think he murdered her, but I think he definitely did not call or try and get her any help or make sure that that's what happened.
Not sure. That's
weird.
So, weird to not call the cops.
It's weird to not call the cops and then them not look into it any more than that. I think it's weird. I think it's weird to go into someone's place that you were supposed to pick up, see her murdered, and not call.
If that happened. I don't know if that happened, though. I don't know if the TikTok thing is real.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. This girl is... So one of the accusers or whatever, it's like he got sentenced to 30 years. And then now she's on a crusade now against Ashton and well, mainly Ashton, but she's telling Mila, like, you were groomed, you're a part of this, whatever. But so now she's set her sights on Ashton.
Okay.
And I think she is the main accuser for Danny Masterson. So I'm just saying, like, 30 years here, now she's moving on. So, stay tuned for how much she's going to, like, try and bring up.
Who do you think that is? The girl?
What?
Who's going to bring up?
So the story that we just did
yes.
was one of the main accuser in Danny Masterson's case that got him.
That's what I'm saying. The girl.
And now she is the one that's writing to.
Gotcha.
Writing
gotcha.
to Ashton, putting up there, like, you guys seem to forget that I was on set with you guys, that I know you, that I dated Danny during this crazy time.
Right.
I know what he has on you, which is if he told anybody about you know what I mean? So now she's going after.
Right. So, I guess forgive me on this, because they were all Jane Does. Did somebody flip out of that and now she's known, this person?
Bixler is the one.
Bixler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bixler was the main one, but they dated. So I don't know if she was like, was she in the trial? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm asking. Yeah. Was she in the trial itself?
Was she just one of the accusers that
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Masterson accuser. So that could be in the actual trial or someone that, like, piled on when people weren't believing. I'm not really sure. But she did date him, so that might be a sticky situation.
Yeah. That's a tough one for me. I would.
I'm
just
just
not
saying,
one of those people I would have
tuned.
guessed. No, I know, and oddly
Stay tuned,
enough,
because during a writer's strike or COVID or something, this is when people get taken motherfucking down.
I know, but I look. I had the same conversation with Callan the other day, and I went on air the next day, and I said, look, I don't believe what they are saying about you, and I'm willing to stand up for you and say this on Drinking Bros and everything else. And same thing, man. I felt like I knew him if I was incorrect on that. And again, you have no idea what people are doing, but I just didn't see that in that person. I didn't see it in Danny. Like, I would have given the same statement. Their response in that video, just stop apologizing for shit. Like, do what you believe in and then move on with your life. You're going to take criticism either way. So if you believe in your friend, and this was your friend, and you're writing this letter to the judge and everything else, leave it be. Yeah, you'll take a heat for a couple days or whatever the fuck it is, but, like, at least you knew, at least in your heart at the time, that you were doing was correct, and then just stop apologizing to people for this stupid shit. Now you're going to have this forever, where these weird conspiracies and videos and all this stupid shit come up for fucking ever at this point. So,
and if he's guilty, then he was lying to you.
Right. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So, like, you're helping your friend, and if your friend lied to you, then you're not as much of a victim as his rape victims, but you're a victim too. Like, you fucking misled you.
Right.
He violated your trust.
Yeah. And I don't know how you go back and prove it, because it's a he said, she said type of deal. And even in this case, going back, to my knowledge, there wasn't any physical evidence or DNA or anything, right? It was just, I'm saying this story happened and you're saying the story didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So they had nothing in the thing, No,
it was 20 years ago.
It's so bizarre to me.
Corroborating, everyone's story and enough people coming out.
And the scary thing is, like, in Los Angeles, during this whole movement and everything else, this Me Too movement, yeah, you're getting convicted of this. Same with, like, you take Trump in New York in that trial with the E. Jean Carroll chick. I don't believe that he ever knew that person. I don't believe any of that story, but it doesn't matter, I guess. If it's a he said, she said, and there's no DNA evidence and there's no evidence whatsoever, any jury can convict you of that if they believe it or they don't like the person.
He didn't get convicted of.
No, he got convicted of defamation.
Of defamation, but he's saying,
but you could be guilty.
This girl isn't my type. Like, is that
I guess calling someone an ugly bitch is.
I think and she's like some kind of
go back to about 800 episodes of Drinking Bros and playing that. So, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
That's where all of this gets dangerous and sticky and all that other shit. With the Cosby case, did they have any physical DNA on that? What was the final thing? Or was it just, 20 witnesses?
I think the 50 women were probably.
Cosby did that shit.
And the MO and just, like, corroborating.
But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and here's where I'm going with this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think one of the women, though, the main one, didn't she go to a doctor or something and say I was raped, or a therapist or something, and all that other
Maybe
stuff?
therapist, but the only thing with her, she was within the statute of limitations, which is the only reason why she ended up being the main girl. But all the stories were the same.
Well,
the other ones had even more evidence, but it had been too long.
In the Danny Masterson case, I believe California bumped up their statute of limitations.
Yes, which is why all these things were coming out.
Right. And what is it? Is the new one 20 years? Wasn't it like right on the cusp of it where you could file something like this?
I thought because wasn't there a story of like the Romeo and Juliet, like the first Romeo and Juliet? 75 years later, trying to come back and sue the studio for child abuse. But that was when it got changed. So it must be like indefinite.
There is no statute of limitations.
So there's now no statute
for rape in California.
So now there was like all of these things coming out. Yeah.
I don't know if that's even new, though.
It's fairly new.
I think it is. I think it happened during the Me Too. Yeah. I think it's
Remember
within the
that
last
story,
2 years. Yeah.
That story that we did was literally on the heels of it being passed, of the Romeo and Juliet actors.
Okay. I'm looking it up. It's Penal Code 799B1.
And what is that? What does it say exactly?
There's no statute.
There is no statute anymore?
But he's just seeing how long it's been going on. But anyway.
No, but
anyway.
So there is no statute of limitations anymore for any of this stuff, right?
Right, in California.
In California.
Yeah.
And that was passed, I think it was during the Me Too movement where it was just like, well, fuck it, we're going to do this. But 20 years in a he said, she said, that's a tough one, man. The Cosby one, I think she went to like the police, or somebody went to the police or something like that. So at least you had records of that, right? Of reporting it. And I think that was the sticking point in this case, was that they didn't have any records of any reports of any of this at all. And you really just did have a he said, she said. Cosby was like 50 fucking people. And I think actually, now that I think about it, I think it was 3 of them who went to, therapists or doctors or police or something like that. So, the whole thing is strange, but they just should have never made a video, in my opinion. Stand up for your friend, move on with your life, and that's it. The rest of this shit on TikTok, I don't know. I think that's just going to happen forever, right?
Yeah, I mean.
With everybody.
Yeah, it's like what you guys do for a living.
What do you mean?
That's what they want you to think. Did you look at this? Aliens.
Well, aliens.
They're but collusion.
But you have footage.
They're behind
But there
it.
is some footage
Hunter
of this where you're like,
Biden.
hey, dude. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Okay, so I can't have one little Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher rabbit hole. No, you're right. Let's talk
we
about
showed a whole goddamn laptop. No.
Let's talk
let me
about
ask you this.
what?
Do you believe it?
Aliens?
No, but do you believe it with the 2 of them? Do you believe there's something weird going on?
No, not that far. But I do believe that Ashton and Danny were little fucking creeps back in the day. But not anything more than anyone else was. But I do think that's what they were.
At 19
and
years
old. And you
old?
played softball. I partied with him in Sundance. I'm going to tell you I believe it. But that's all we have, right? So
so you do believe it?
Yeah.
Why, was he creepy to you?
No, I mean, I wanted him to be, but
Sure.
He was being creepy, yeah, for sure.
To
for
who?
sure.
Like, to who? Other people?
It was just sort of like a really quiet kind of, there were girls kind of going with him, and it was sort of this quiet creepiness of, it's just a vibe. I don't know. Girls have the radar, but you wouldn't, because while you were playing softball, he wasn't doing that. But when you're at Sundance, like that's where the shit went down.
It's the vibe. We all know you want to be here. You want to be the girl with me, but you're about to do some weird stuff in order to be here.
No, he's just kind of like end of the night. He knows he's going to get a couple. It almost felt like he knew he was going to get these 2 girls to come back with him, and he was kind of just like, all right, like. Towards the end, just kind of like, all right, you guys, like, come with me. And I don't know what happened. Threesome, maybe a consensual, fun threesome.
Well, that happens
in the
a lot
altitude
at
with no drug.
Yeah,
I know.
That happens in a lot of Sundance.
So, and maybe there was a lot of that. Maybe the lines got blurred. I don't know.
Okay.
But I believe that probably he was a little creepy to some people.
Okay.
Right? But I can't prove any of that. And I don't think if you can not prove it. I do a crime show. Like, even if I think that someone actually did it, if there is no DNA anywhere or forensic or motive or weapon or anything, you can't just say, I don't like him and I think he did it. That's just not what we do, right? So there has to be something in the justice system that we have, something tying them, some kind of physical thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do I think he should be going to jail for 30 years? No. Do I think he did it? I have no idea. But if you can't prove it to me,
yeah. And, and to me, like, the statute of limitations thing is fine if you want to lift it, but I think there should be some evidence to have to go along with this stuff. Like, that's just the way that I feel about it.
By design, there's not going to be, right?
Because it's California, though.
No, by design, there's not going to be any evidence in, like, a rape or abuse. You know, those kind of things are really hard to prove. So by design, they're not going to have any evidence. You just have to, like, you know, character assassination or put them in the same place at the same time, text message, whatever you have.
Sure.
You have to do a circumstantial case because there isn't going to be any evidence unless they went to get a rape kit, which they don't usually.
Yeah. Why don't they? Let me ask you that.
Why do women not get a...
Yeah, why not just report it immediately?
Because it's a psychologically... part of it is a psychological thing where they make you feel like, or you feel like, it was your fault because that's the narrative, right? It's your fault. You went up to the hotel. You were wearing this thing. Maybe you led him on. Maybe... You know what I mean? You drank too much. Maybe you don't really remember it how it's supposed to be. And again, by design, it's meant to be like what you have to question yourself. And by the time you just want to go home and fucking take a shower, you're not trying to be questioned by police. And there's also history of police then turning things around on you. Like you're accusing someone of something they didn't do. And then they're questioning you like you're a suspect. So there's all kind of things that's horrible about it. Mm-hmm. So no, very rarely, unless it's just a violent attack from, you know, on the street from behind and you don't even know the person, very rarely will someone that is in this kind of situation decide that, okay, that was rape. Okay, I remember everything. Okay, I can give enough details to go and get a rape kit, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because it's not just going to the doctor. Then the police have to be called. Then you have to be questioned and you have to file a report.
Sure. And you can't say it was what she was wearing, you know? That was revealing.
No, you don't want to say who it was. You don't want to be asked the question. You don't want to be asked the question, where were you? How much did you have to drink? Why did you go there? How long have you known him? Like, did you call him after? Did you text? You know, like all of the things that happen.
Yeah.
So whatever.
When the case of Kanye's new girlfriend. With what
let's
she's
move on.
wearing,
Let's move on.
with what she's wearing,
brighter.
What would you say about
brighter and more?
Go to the top of TMZ right now.
Not girlfriend. This is wife. This is wife.
This is
wife. They are married.
This is wifey.
Like for real, they're married.
Supposedly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're not allowed on that Italian tugboat cruise anymore.
I didn't see any.
Well, he was getting a blowjob on there, but now
he's been banned for life,
there's this new fun, flirty top that she's been wearing everywhere, and they're saying that she shouldn't be wearing it. TMZ actually blurred out one of the images there.
Both of them. Both of those have blur on them.
Where's the boat butt pic?
Well, there's a butt pic here too.
There's a butt pic there
a little
too.
bit. There's a real butt pic.
Yeah,
on
there was where he was getting a blowjob on the boat. But what's with this top now? Is this going to be a thing? Because if so,
this is actually more palatable for me than the pantyhose being pulled all the way up and then pantyhose on the head and then a bra.
Yeah.
So like that I can get behind. What she's wearing right now.
I mean, it's just underwear, right? Can we be honest? It's underwear.
I don't know what this is.
It's
what
a covering.
Yeah, what do you call
She's
this?
blurring out her own, because it's just a blur. I mean, you're going to be able to see everything else. You're just going to have to look a little bit closer to see the nipple. You're going to have to really get in the right light to see butt crack of her. But yeah, she's wearing just straight up hose, pantyhose all over her body.
Pop open this Kanye pic of him getting head on the boat here. What I like is there's a guy there that's on the boat on the phone, which is awesome.
Somebody's got to drive the boat.
Yeah. Who? I mean, what do you think was going to...
Well, at some point, in this pic, those two men made eye contact while his wife was blowing him.
Right.
And is that part of it? Like, oh, hey,
I don't know.
I want to get blown and have the random boat guy I hired for the day for 4 hours.
Now, if we're going to start
getting blown by my wife,
if we're going to start to find, if now the show is trying to find the logic in things Kanye does, we're going to be here all day long.
I'm picking this mic back up. Now we're piquing my interest.
Yeah, it's cutting out though.
Did you get Bob's mic?
Yeah,
Bob's old mic.
I did take Bob's mic. I'm sorry.
You did. But yeah, this whole shit in Italy, I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of weird lawsuits that are being thrown around right now.
I just say, what's the problem, right?
Same. But apparently he's over there recording a new album, and there was a guy who's been leaking it to the internet that he's suing for like, I don't know, $10 million or something like that. Online, some secret fucking Instagram account that's just dropping like tracks and finding them. And he's suing them to try to figure out who's behind the secret Instagram account. He's also getting head on this boat. She's not wearing clothes anywhere. He's having all the fun, you know? And we thought he was maybe canceled at one point, and then it just turns out, none of that. Like
nothing he's doing looks or sounds fun, including that blowjob.
Yeah, it did look like
that is a dismal. That was like if you saw two homeless people.
I know that's what it was.
Each other
like
for drugs, you wouldn't be like, "What a day they're having."
Yeah, like the sports coat still on, and just like, boats passing by. You're in Italy. She's like, "Oh, can I see?" Nope. You know what I mean? You're not seeing any of the sights.
Well, you're seeing
under
one of the
boat.
You're seeing one of the sights.
You're under the boat. Just
look at this. He looks awful. This is from this summer. Like, he looks bad.
Because of his clothing?
I
or
think
he's fucking gained like 40 pounds.
When he goes on the meds,
back on the meds.
When you go on the meds, he puts on the weight, and then when he's off the meds, he's skinny again. But
I think she looks good.
She looks great.
She could look so much better.
The clothes are a vibe for sure.
She looks like a hostage.
Yes, because I think she
maybe a hostage. Yeah, but his little outfit is fun. It reminds me of the Fratellis and the Goonies. They were kind of dressed like that throughout the movie.
Sure.
Pop that up one more time, Bob. Because it looks like little pirate pants.
It's hand-me-down coal miner.
You can see his penis.
Sure
as
can.
well.
It's a great cock shot there.
It really is.
Are those shoes, Bob?
Nope.
Well, they're the sock shoes, right?
I think there's something.
Are they rubber sock shoes?
It looks like something you wear to go scuba diving.
So he has this thing of like there's socks that kind of go over shoes to make your whole. Remember Kim? That was like the vibe he used to make Kim wear, the socks that would go over the high heels and then be a full bodysuit, and then she would just have not go to the bathroom, I guess, for the entire
or diaper
show.
up. Maybe she was diped up. We don't know.
Skin tight.
Yeah.
Skin tight.
Maybe she was all diped up, and
you don't dipe up when it's skin tight. It's got to go somewhere.
There's no way to hide a poise.
I've tried. You've seen me try.
Yes, we have both tried actually.
To what?
To wear a diaper and hide it on the show.
Well, Giorgio, I remember. I don't remember you wearing a diaper.
Didn't I do it on Jack's Sesh, or was that just you?
I think you did too, but I don't think you peed in yours.
No,
he filled up.
Yeah, I couldn't.
His whole diaper.
It's a tight.
Yeah,
that's a bridge. Yeah.
He filled up his entire diaper.
Yeah, that was a bridge too far for me.
It was really heavy. It was a heavy diaper.
Yeah,
liquid was spilled. I was so impressed.
Was that true?
I'm telling you, Ross, like my mind was blown.
Okay.
Yeah.
How good these were.
Because that's like an adult man's full. You know what I mean?
It looked heavy.
Yeah.
It looked like a really heavy diaper.
Yeah.
Once that was filled up with PP,
this
is a real heavy diaper.
This is just a man who's run out of ideas. You know, Ross, like you're a writer. You know, you think like, fuck, dude, I'm out of jokes. Like, what else? Like, what else do I have? What new clever thing can I say? I feel like I did it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a fucking guy out of ideas.
So is that just a pillow over?
Yeah, that's a fucking pillow.
Yeah, so she's wearing a pantyhose suit, and then she's just holding a purple pillow in front of her as like the cover up.
I love it. I like if we didn't have this weird shit in the world, just one person who was super fucking weird, that we all kind of talked about and laughed and made jokes about. I mean, it's happened over time, right? You had Andy Warhol for years, the guy who cut off his fucking ear. You know, it was all fun and games.
Is
Picasso.
he talking about Picasso?
Van Gogh.
Yeah,
Van
Van
Gogh.
Gogh. That's whatever,
But
man. That's
is he
how
talking
little I know
Van
about
Gogh
art.
and like Kanye and like together.
Kanye would love to be compared to Van Gogh.
I know he would, but
very
I'm
much.
refusing to let it happen.
I'm not. I've got Kanye over Van Gogh. I'm sorry. I definitely do.
I've already told you what this is. This is John Lennon if John Lennon didn't get shot.
Yeah.
This is just John Lennon's final form.
But did you not think John Lennon was talented?
I did, but he died at the right time.
George Harrison was the talent in that group.
And I don't.
I am, by the way, I'm a Paul guy. I am.
Are you really?
Paul over John, yeah.
Okay.
I was not clearly, as we all know, not a fan.
I switched my opinion, Bob, after that doc on Disney. I switched over to your side. I was Paul after that, for sure. Oh, and the Hulu one we watched with Rick Rubin.
Right.
I was a Paul guy after that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I still look at it like I take Van Gogh, the paintings versus all the music, and then the shoes, even the Yeezys, dude. That's worth it alone, for Christ's sakes. To me.
You wouldn't know a Van Gogh painting if we showed it to you right now.
Pop one up. What? Pop one up. Here.
Try to fake him out.
Try and fake him out.
But I'll be honest if I know it or not. For real. I'll let you know. If I know it or not. I will. Dead serious. Never seen it in my life. Never seen it in my life. I don't know what this is. Dead serious. I don't know what this is.
Right, well, this is a Monet.
Okay. Never seen it. Don't know.
Okay, so you've never seen that. Okay.
Have you?
How about?
Have you seen it?
I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I
It's
didn't
his
know
most
who it
famous
was.
one. Yeah, it's the water lily pond.
Yeah, so
That wasn't Starry Night, Dan.
Which one? Starry Night?
This one.
All right,
This one
pop it up. I'll tell you.
Or Self-Portrait, right?
Self-portrait.
Okay, so this one, yes, I've seen. Yes.
Everyone's.
Every college bookstore's poster.
Now, that versus College Dropout. What are we doing here? Or, you know, I would rather have the music
Here's what I'll
versus
say.
one painting.
It's not apples to apples.
Van Gogh didn't really miss. And Kanye has missed on his last
Thank you.
4.
Thank you.
What didn't he miss on for Van Gogh?
Everything Van Gogh
He
did.
cut
Van
that.
Gogh's life was freaking baller.
He cut that ear clean off, huh?
Yeah, he wasn't. Like, no
I
one
know.
bought any of his
I don't
paintings
even
and no
know
one
if we
cared
can
about him.
do. I don't even know if we can do this conversation.
Wait,
to
let's
be honest
see
with
it.
you.
Let's see if he really did cut the ear clean off. Is there a shot of him with the missing ear?
No, you motherfucker. It's a paint. It's a painting.
But nobody ever took a picture. We've got nothing.
No, he did a painting.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, he's all bandaged up. Fuck you.
Like, cut his ear off.
That's not great. What's it called?
It's ooh ooh my ear. Ooh, it's called ooh. Yeah.
There's a wonderful film called Loving Vincent. If you really care about wanting about his life.
Was his ear
Who's
gone in
in
that?
it?
It's where all the artists did some of the frames. It all looks hand painted, the whole thing, and then it changes color to black and white depending on what time period it's in.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, we're not even doing this.
I'm taking Kanye over.
No,
Van
I'm
Gogh.
shutting this down right
taking
now.
Kanye over Van Gogh. I'm sorry, I'm doing it. It's a bold move, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it today.
You're
I am.
comparing apples to piles of shit.
Not really. Not really. Who invented the Eiffel Tower? Who did that?
Who did what?
Who created the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, who created the Eiffel Tower?
The building of the
Eiffel.
position.
What? We'll go with the builder first, then the position.
It was Pierre Eiffel.
Pierre Eiffel?
Or Gustave Eiffel. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Gustave Eiffel. Like that? Yes, that is beautiful, right? And I'm taking that, but I'm taking Kanye over.
Sorry,
Van
you're
Gogh.
taking the Eiffel Tower over Kanye.
over the whatever this that the
But then
the
you're
over
gonna
Starry
take-
Nights, like you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna take College Dropout over Van Gogh, and I'm gonna take it. I'm sorry. That's where I live. I don't really care. If I never saw a Van Gogh painting in my life, I really wouldn't have missed it.
This isn't an around the horn.
But
you're just saying that, and then we're just leaving it.
If I
like no
didn't
one's gonna
have-
go, oh, what are you taking on top of? No.
If I didn't have
Also-
Kanye's music throughout my life, I would have missed that. It would have sucked.
Gustave Eiffel also created the Statue of Liberty.
Did he really? Look
So
at that.
He didn't
See?
really miss.
That's great
He
art.
didn't miss.
He didn't miss. That's great art.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Man, dude. And Gold Digger? Come on. If I didn't hear Gold Digger, I lost my shit. Where would I have been?
You are having
those
a
years?
Conversation with yourself right now.
Man, James. We're talking about artists
Just
here,
like
okay?
how you like it.
Artists who have changed the world. Kanye over Van Gogh. I'm sorry. I am. I'm taking it. I don't care. And now we've got this fun little brawl did he create that as well, I'm assuming?
Yes, he dresses all the women that he's with.
That's exactly like they used to do it back,
Back
with
when.
Tom Ford and all those guys.
Sure.
But I think it was gay men. It was little gay men who would dance around like elves. They would wear little elf shoes and elf clothing, and that's how they tested it out to see if you could be surrounded by these gay little elves and then live your life better than you were before. And that's what Kanye is doing. And that's case closed at this point. There's no need to Jesse to retort on that at all, right?
Nobody's retorting.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't. Kanye wins that one.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird day today.
Right. So we're going to go to Nature Nook. This one is technically nature, right?
It's nature.
Is it?
It's nature.
All right. Let's end it with Nature Nook today.
Nailed it.
Weather is nature.
Yeah, weather technically is nature. So this is where, Bob?
I don't know. All I know is I saw
We love
this-
these like nondescript
Yeah.
kind of, vaguely Asian, maybe?
No. This is in the United States.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's in the United
Oh, okay.
States.
So these people
During a recent storm.
during a recent storm, they have some kind of tent over. It looks like a restaurant or a party or something like outdoor situation, and everyone's trying to hold this big tent down while the storm comes. Right?
Oh, boy.
Yes, the caterers or waiters.
They're all
whatever
the
they are.
caterers are going to somehow hold this tent down during a tornado. It looks like.
Is it lightning?
No.
Okay.
It's just
thank God.
it's windy.
Wind, very
Thank God.
strong.
I
wind.
saw the metal and I saw their hands and I was like,
I'm imagining they get picked up.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're going for a ride.
all right, let's see it.
Got the sound up.
Let's see it. Yep.
Well, let's see.
Sound up, full blast.
Hold it. Keep holding it.
Oh, shit!
I need you to pay attention to
Pay attention to the
gentleman.
background.
Wait, yeah, it's the people
And
in the
all
back.
of those people
I need
dropping
the
down.
guy in the blue shirt.
Ugh. How is he hanging by his feet?
Oh,
no, he's not.
Oh my God, he's so high
Look
in
how
the
high
air.
he goes.
But once you get to that point, you can't let go.
You have to hold on, and he apparently does.
Out of frame.
Out of frame, like we don't know what happened to the guy that kept holding on.
But the guy in the black here, we see him land. Like, look at this. The hang time.
Holy
white shirt,
shit.
White
pants.
shirt's second. So white shirt is just out of. Okay, you see him in the back left to the left of the chick's pole in the foreground.
White shirt is crippled now.
But also, by the way, like why are you still holding? Like,
like
why don't you let go?
Immediately
Like,
let go.
or at least that high.
Wow.
No,
I
he
think
holds
this is-
on till the bitter end, and we don't know what happened to him. Actually,
Look at the hang time.
Look at
White
that drop.
shirt.
I don't think you can hang tight. I think you've got to drop.
That's a broken leg, at least.
definitely
least.
that one guy.
He misses the tables though.
The table
Yeah,
would've helped.
The
but
table
still.
helps, I think.
Yeah, because it
breaks your fall.
Yeah, it breaks your fall, and it's a little higher up.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, we don't know what happened to blue shirt.
Yeah, blue
is gone.
shirt-
Isn't the upside down?
Holy
Blue shirt just
fucking
thought he
shit.
could somehow bring it back down.
Well, he's heavy. Look, he's got some weight to him.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I understand that because everybody else gave up.
And then also waitress goes out of frame. I'm hoping she just dropped to the ground.
But everybody else gave up
didn't
in this.
hold
If they
on.
would have held on, then they could have kept this thing down. Blue shirt's the only one that.
I don't
Is
see
that
the
blue
waitress.
shirt there?
No, that's not blue shirt.
I don't see yellow shirt waitress.
I don't see
I know.
her either.
Oh no, where did she go?
Maybe she went out.
Play it again from the top.
She
from
went
the
down
top,
with the
yeah.
ship too. Hold on. People are telling him to hold on.
Hold.
Why? Get inside.
See ya.
So shout out to DJ Davies. He actually tweeted this, and I caught it. And I think like the caption of the tweet was, "Imagine doing this for your boss for $126 an hour."
Seriously. Like
126.
How are all these people running from inside the building
That's
to
good money.
go hold on to this metal tent?
It's good money. That's good money for something like that. So yeah.
Okay.
I think you risk it. I think you risk it all for 126.
As we all know with Nature Nook, nature always wins. Nature always wins.
Where
and
was
if you
this?
think any different, we don't know, some nondescript.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the U.S. is all I know.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Holy shit, dude.
Hey
Let
guys,
go.
there's a storm coming. Everyone get outside to the metal tent and take a leg.
Hold on.
I wouldn't have done it just because of the lightning. I would have been like, all right, we're all going to get electrocuted.
Yeah.
Or just, yeah.
Not because I wanted it to pick up and fly. Like, you give up on it at that point. Like, great. If it's gone, it's gone. But holy shit, dude. And the big dude. When you're that, homeboy had some weight on him. If he couldn't keep that goddamn tent down,
sure,
that wind must have been real strong.
Right. Well, we see that it was strong.
R.I.P. to that guy, and R.I.P. to Aaron Rodgers, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, strange day. Strange day. Oh, boy. That was a good one, though.
And hello, more Aaron Rodgers and Aubrey Marcus content.
Boy,
So
you're going to get a
ready
lot of
for
it, guys. You're going to get a lot
Not
of
from
it.
us, from them.
From us. It'll be
From
Aubrey
us,
Alley.
yeah, but we're going to have to sift through all their fucking nonsense because it's going to be a lot.
Where do you think he's going to be healing at?
In a dark room.
No, with Aubrey. And,
Yeah,
and
with
it's going to
Aubrey.
be a
And
girl in a
crystals.
bowl and the whole thing inside the bowl there.
He's going to want to do some natural type healing with this, for
yes,
sure.
you sure do. I don't even know if he gets surgery. I think Aubrey might be able to heal him on his own.
So he did just recently have Aaron's girlfriend on his podcast, Blue of Earth.
Oh, did he really?
And the title, I think, is apt. I think his next podcast with Aaron might be The Gifts of Rupturing Your Achilles, because Blue of Earth is deaf. And this is the gifts of going deaf.
His girlfriend is deaf?
I guess. I don't.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers'
Blue
girlfriend?
of Earth? That's his chick, right, Dan?
Yeah, that's her.
Motivational
she's
speaker?
deaf?
Deaf?
Apparently.
Oh, yeah, deaf without the A. That'd be hilarious. No, she's fucking... Yeah, play it.
The
play
gifts of
play
going-
this. Real quick, play this.
And then
real
we've
quick. I've got to
gotta-
know the answer.
There are
We have to
things
go.
that are happening in the non-physical realm constantly, but we are so reliant on our five senses that we aren't tapping into the extrasensory perception of being able to hear beyond the words. And so what I started to navigate once I allowed myself to go into the death of what once was, feel the grief of the loss of that, to
Get
then
to a
actually
fucking
start to
point.
move into the higher expression of recognizing on the shadow side of deafness is the gift of insight. And it talks about this in the Radiant Sutras, that when one sense is dampened by age or deprivation or injury, awareness spirals inwards and you navigate the world beyond appearance. And to actually navigate the world beyond appearance, it's like a bullshit radar.
So she's
There
not
are things-
actually deaf.
She doesn't sound like it.
No, she is.
Yeah, she is. You
She
didn't
is.
hear that?
She had a little bit of a
Oh, yeah,
little
she had a
lisp.
little something.
Yeah.
Little something.
But not totally
Not
deaf.
totally deaf, though. It's like Stevie Wonder. Stevie could see shapes and colors. You know, this girl
So
seems...
she went deaf.
She went deaf. I think she went deaf for this experiment.
Yeah, I think she
can fully hear.
What?
Yeah.
No, she's deaf.
Did you hear the conversation? She was like, "Look, it's giving up a sense, and you're doing it. Like, you think she's deaf?
I don't know.
Go to Google and type in Blue of Earth deaf.
She's
Is she
probably
really
hard
deaf?
of hearing.
A host of the...
Yeah, she's probably hard of hearing.
She's 70% deaf.
70%.
Okay, so there's still 30%.
She's most
Yeah,
deaf.
but
So
my
she's probably
God.
legally blind doesn't necessarily mean you're just fucking black,
Legally
cut to
deaf.
black your whole life.
Right,
It's the same
right.
thing. She's
You're not
probably
cut to
legally deaf.
black, but you're definitely like seeing blobs and blurs.
Yeah, blobs
So
and
she's
blurs.
like hearing muffled sounds and deaf.
Yeah,
Deaf. She's deaf.
She's deaf. She's deaf. She's got 30%, guys. Okay, and sometimes. Hey, Bob, you're a baseball guy. You host a baseball podcast. If somebody goes 3 for 10, 30%. What is that? 300.
Yep.
Great year.
Great year.
It's almost Hall of Fame.
Sure is. Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. 30%'s a lot. That's a lot.
For sure.
If it was 10, all right, maybe. But 30 is that's a fair amount.
Well above the Mendoza line.
Sure is.
Right.
Sure, you go to the Hall of Fame. If you were hitting 30% your entire career, you're in the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
And she's in the Hall of Fame too. Okay.
Right.
But we're going to learn a lot about her, a lot about Aubrey, and a lot about Aaron during this process. And we're looking forward to the healing process of all of this, okay?
Sure.
So we're going to teach the world something.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that surgery is going to be necessary. He might skip it and just go straight to Aubrey's house. We'll find out.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. He might.
He very well might.
He might try some natural stuff first.
Yep. And then we'll see what happens there. So we had fun today, James. What are you looking at? You look confused right now.
Nothing. I'm just reading some comments before we get off the air.
Give people
I
a
just
shout
like
out
to
then.
I just like to check back
Give
in.
a shout out.
Well, it's all the main peeps. We got Greg,
Reed White,
Elon
Jacob
G. We
Nickel,
got Reed White. We've got Elijah.
Sarah,
Jacob Nickel, Sarah. All our
Jeep and
peeps.
Justin. Yeah, all our peeps.
All
on
our
here.
peeps.
Yeah. Big fan of everyone.
Big fan of everyone. Yeah, don't worry about me.
Huge fan.
Do your sign off.
Oh, I will do the sign off, Jabes. I'm really stuck on this hearing thing now. 30%'s a lot.
What do you think Ross is? Because he's a little bit deaf.
I wouldn't
too.
call anybody deaf.
I would say
30%.
he's 30% and she's 70.
No, Ross is like
I'm definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay.
Okay.
I can hear anything.
If it's turned up to
Anything.
25.
No, I can hear people in fucking buildings 80 feet over right now. I can hear their whole conversations. And it's a weird gift that I have, and I might start an Instagram.
All right, we gotta go.
Yes, we have Drinking Bros here live. It's 10 minutes probably. We have a guest in studio, so join us on Patreon. We'll be live over there in about 10 minutes. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.